The policy of the Athletic Commission in championship bouts is to allow fighters to get on the scale a second time if they are overweight the first time they get on the scale. So he came in, he was 1.2 pounds overweight the first time he got on the scale. He's allowed, according to commission policy, up to 2 hours to get back on the scale. He came back a short time after, and he weighed in exactly at 205. So according to the commission policy, it's a legal weigh-in, and he's right on weight.
And that's only for championship fights?
That's only for championship fights.
Okay.
In non-championship fights, the policy is that the fighter gets on the scale, and if they're overweight, they can't leave. They can drop their drawers and get on the scale again, but that would be the final weight. But there is a distinction between championship fights and non-championship fights, and this is a championship fight, so we're following that policy.
And
the only other thing I would say is that in terms of losing weight, you can't lose more than 1% of your body weight in the 24-hour period before a fight. And of course, he lost 1.2 pounds, which is less than 1% of his body weight.
And did he have to do that by 11 a.m.?
He had to do that. Technically, we give 2 hours.
Yeah.
The UFC has a different rule. They set a policy of 9 to 11, but we would have given him 2 hours.
2 hours, so it would have been till 1?
We would have given him till, right, we would have given him till 1.
Okay.
Why, if UFC's policy would have overridden the 2 hours, why did it not override that he can only get on the scale once?
No, that UFC, our policy would control. Our policy would control.
Okay, so you would have allowed him to reweigh, but then the UFC might not have allowed him to.
We would have allowed him to reweigh up to 2 hours after the scheduled weigh-in.
Do you know where we can find this in the legislature, what the code is?
We can send you the policy. We'll have to send you the policy. It's not in the legislation. It's not in the statute.
Okay, so then how would anybody have known about this rule?
It's a published policy. I'm pretty sure it's on our website.
Do you know how he lost the 1.2 pounds in such a short amount of time?
No, we don't ask that question. I heard it was, there was excessive sweat.
Okay.
He might have been holding the towel, although your videos would show that if he was holding the towel.
Is there a reason why the commission prefers digital scale as opposed to the, I don't know what the official term is, the old school scale, if you will?
No, I mean, this is what we've been using, and we find that it's the most accurate.
Okay.
It's the most accurate. It's certified every year, and
You mentioned the towel. If you go back and look at the video and he is pushing on the towel, how will you react to that? What's your feeling on it?
if
Do
he
you feel
was
like you
holding,
missed something?
if he was holding the towel, I don't know if I missed it or they missed it. That he missed it. He shouldn't have been. I mean, if he shouldn't have been. I mean, when he weighed in originally, he shouldn't have been holding the towel. And it would make him weigh more.
On the second attempt when he made the weight, he was holding onto the towel.
He wasn't holding the towel the second time. No.
I have the video.
He was holding the towel the second time.
That's correct.
Okay, I didn't see that. Either way, he weighed in. He weighed in 1.2 pounds less the second time, and he weighed in at 205 exactly.
And just for the record, if Rumble had to weigh in by 11 though, right?
Everybody had to weigh in by 11.
So he really made it within seconds. And what would have happened if he didn't? If he would have showed up at 11:02?
I mean, we would have been fine with it.
Oh, really? Okay, so you actually really give 4 hours.
We give 2 hours past the weigh-in in order to make weight if someone's over.
Even if you don't show up in the first 2 hour block.
You have to show up in the first 2 hours.
Right. So what if he would have showed up at like 11:02?
He would have been outside. He wouldn't have been allowed to compete.
So he doesn't get an opportunity. You have to initially first come in that 2 hour window
That's
to
right.
get the next
right.
2 hours.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
you
he
have to
made it
show
within
up.
seconds.
Yeah.
Like, are you guys? How does that work? Like, is there a
No,
stopwatch?
when you say he made it within seconds, both fighters were here well before 11.
Oh, really?
Initially.
They actually.
Initially.
Okay.
Yeah, they were here well before 11.
So did they just need to register before 11?
They were here and they registered before 11. Yeah.
Did
They
Johnson
got on the scale before 11.
Yeah,
that's the key. Yeah, that's
did Johnson wait to weigh in until he knew that Daniel was going to either make it or miss it?
that I have no idea. I have no idea what that strategy is.
If Anthony would have been overweight, if he's not the champion, does he still get that 2 hour buffer as well? Or is it just the champion?
Oh no, he would still get both fighters in the championship bout would get that.